and there is no mom guilt whatsoever. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but my name is Kimberly and we speak of all things motherhood, home, and self-care because we need that. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how I improved my mindset, how I changed my mindset to just live a more grateful and content and fulfilled life on a day-to-day as a stay-at-home mom. So if that's something that you're interested in, then keep watching. So in the bedroom, so it's just a cozy vibe. We're gonna have like a little chit chat. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a backstory. I am married. We've been married for 5 years and we have twin toddlers who is 4 now. We're originally from Brooklyn, New York. We're Brooklyn at. And then we moved after the kids turned 1. And after they turned 1, we moved to Florida. And ever since we moved to Florida, I've been a stay-at-home mom. And my husband is an entrepreneur. So I've been a stay-at-home mom for 3 years. And it was very hard for me at first. In my mind, I wanted to, after I became a mom, I wanted to stay home with my kids. I didn't want to leave them, but I also didn't know what comes with being a stay-at-home mom and how tough it can be on your mental health. Kind of made me feel really sad a lot of the times. I wouldn't communicate how I was feeling a lot of the times. I kind of felt isolated. I felt alone. I felt like no one understands what I'm going through. I just didn't understand the ins and outs on, you know, being home all the time and staying home and you're only communicating with toddlers 90% of the time. And my husband would travel a lot, and so it could just be us for, you know, a week or so. And it was very detrimental to my mental health. As much as I love being a mom and love teaching my kids and like watching them learn new things, it really fulfills me on one aspect, but on the other aspect, I didn't have enough time for myself. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know how to communicate how I was feeling. I didn't know how to ask for time to do the things that I want to do for me. Because not only did I not know how to do that, I also felt like I wanted to do everything though. At the same time, I still wanted to do everything. I wanted to give the kids a bath. I wanted it to be done a certain way. So like, no one else can do it like I can do it, so let me just do it. I had to take some time to figure out what self-care means to me. How can I do it more often? What are things that I can implement in the day-to-day to pour into me, to pour into my cup? If you hear the kids in the background, that's it. If you hear them, you hear them. Not only did it impact me as a mom because I wasn't able to be my best self, to be present with my kids, it also affected my relationship with my husband because, again, I was in my head a lot, didn't communicate a lot of things, so that in turn made me very emotional. I would like be really sad and really down and not talking and walking around like, you know, the world has just ended. And I just didn't like the way I was, and I'm just like, something's gotta give. How can I take being a stay-at-home mom, how can I embrace my life for what it is and still enjoy me and enjoy the life that I have? So I had to do a few things. I had to improve myself. I had to improve my mindset mainly. I had to figure out why I was feeling the way I was feeling. How could I basically feel better? So the first thing I had to do was communicate. Now that sounds very easy, like just communicate your thoughts, but I don't know. It's just, I think the way I grew up, we didn't grow up communicating like that. It was really hard for me to just communicate. Now, I had to put in my mind that I had to care less about how it would be perceived and just get it out. It's important for me to just get it out. Not caring if I'm gonna be misunderstood or not. I had to communicate how I was feeling, when I was feeling it at the moment. Basically, this is what I would do in my mind. I would communicate with myself in my mind, resolve the issue. I would feel like I resolved the issue and like, okay, I'm fine, feel like it's no big deal. And then the next day the issue is still there. The issue is still there. And so eventually I just had to just get it out. Second thing I had to do was do something for me daily. Now that looks different for everybody. It could really be the smallest thing, but I had to do little things throughout the day just to find small joys that kind of just made me happy. So for me, waking up before the kids could be one, but a lot of times I haven't been doing that at all lately. So what I would do is when I do wake up, I give them like an activity so it's still a little peaceful. I play a little bit of like a meditation, gospel, instrumental sound while I'm like, you know, getting their breakfast ready. I really like to have slow mornings. And then at night, doing my skincare routine makes me feel good, putting on little cute pajamas. On one side, I get like an instant gratification of self-care, and then on the other side, I like to do things that helps my future self. Doing things that help me feel good internally, like juicing. If I could do a little quick 30-minute workout in the living room, that's like two of the things that I kind of been doing lately that kind of helps my body when it comes to health and wellness. And also I took it a notch up by doing something for myself weekly, which is going on like a self-care day or just taking a day out to, you know, whatever, go to Starbucks, get my hair done, get my nails done, go to Target, whatever it is, just going out by myself, going out to eat, just going out by myself and like kind of just doing whatever and not having to think of the kids or what they have to eat or what they're doing or what activity I need to do or what are they watching. Like, I don't worry about none of that. I leave that at the door. Like, when I'm out, I am out. And there is no mom guilt whatsoever. Because when I'm out, your girl is out. Next thing that I had to do, change my mindset. I think being a stay-at-home mom, I didn't think of it as like a big thing. How can I explain it? So, for example, we went out to eat one time and someone asked me, like, asked my husband, what do you do? You know, he said what he did. And then she asked me, what do I do? I'm like, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. Like, just a stay-at-home mom. Like, kind of belittled what I do for my family. I belittled the job that I do. And because I didn't feel like I did enough, or it doesn't take, like, anyone could do this, is what I felt like for a long time. Like, I'm just staying at home with my kids. Even though I know that it's hard and it's tough, I just didn't feel like it was a big job to do. That was the first thing I had to do. I had to change my mindset on that. I had to understand that being a stay-at-home mom is a big deal. Are you kidding? I'm taking care of humans. I am raising these humans to be part of this world. The mental load of motherhood, a lot of people don't talk about that. Like, doing research on how I could be, the research alone that I do on being a parent, and then I'm doing the research and I also have to relay the message to my husband so we could be on the same page. It's what you have to eat, making sure my kids are eating healthier foods. Like, health and wellness is really important for me. Like, finding healthier snacks, reading labels, understanding the different ingredients in different foods. Like, I'm the administrator, I'm their teacher, I'm their mother, I'm their nurse, I'm their chef, I'm their cook. Like, I wear lots of hats. Being a stay-at-home mom is a big job. I had to understand that what I do takes skill. Once I understood that what I do takes skill, I felt like, yeah, I had to feel like I now do things with more confidence like, this is not just nothing. So on one side, I had to understand that what I do is a big deal and I am doing impactful work in what I do. On the other side, I felt because I was doing so much for my kids, the house, for my husband, I felt like, what am I doing for me? I was feeling very unfulfilled in what I can do. What am I doing to contribute in terms of finances? What can I do? You know what I mean? So that's how I kind of fell into content creation in a way. I kind of started content creation mainly because I moved away from my my family and friends in Brooklyn, so I kind of was posting the kids a lot, kind of just to show, so they could kind of be a part of them growing up, even though I'm not there. That started on Snapchat. Then my husband was like, no, you need to be posting on Instagram. I'm like, I don't want to post on Instagram, there's too much people on Instagram. And eventually I started posting on Instagram and I was getting a lot of great feedback, so then I started kind of like, okay, maybe I can do this content creation thing. So that's kind of how I started content creation, but now I'm trying to, you know, monetize and optimize what I'm doing to generate income. So that's besides the point. So I was very like down on myself because I felt like I wasn't doing anything for me outside of being a mom, and I was feeling very unfulfilled in that way. And I then had to understand that my kids are still small. And although you see other moms doing it via social media, again, I don't know them, I don't know their life, I don't know what help or resources they have. So I had to understand that this season of my life, I might not have a lot to pour into things for me because they still rely so heavily on me. The season of my life right now, I may still be doing so much for my kids, and that's okay. And eventually, when they go to school, I have more time to do more for me, if that makes sense. I had to just give myself a lot of grace. So understanding that gave me a little bit more peace, so I won't just be so negative on what am I doing for me, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I was just chatting. The last thing that I had to do to help my mindset and to improve my day-to-day life as a stay-at-home mom is practice gratitude. Now this one was a big one for me because I always felt like I was grateful. Like, of course I'm grateful to have the things that I have, that my kids are healthy and we're healthy and all of that. Like, I always felt like when I pray, I always thank God for those things. But here is where I felt like I was lacking. I would say that I'm grateful and I would feel like I'm grateful, but I wasn't acting like I was grateful. A lot of times that we kind of want to, what's next, what's next, what's next, what are we doing? But also, at the same time, you have to kind of be present and be grateful for the space that you're in because you once prayed for the space that you're in right now. I practice gratitude with being a stay-at-home mom. Like, as much as being a stay-at-home mom is tough, I am not going back to work at a 9-to-5 job. Like, I would 100% be building a business from home, but going back to work is absolutely no. One way I started being grateful for being a stay-at-home mom is really embracing that I have no way to rush to. I could take my time. I work at my own pace. I started to embrace slow living, waking up and starting the day with meditation, gospel music, giving my kids breakfast. Like, doing things at our own pace is something that I grew so grateful for. I practice gratitude with my kids by really just spending one-on-one time with them, putting my phone away and kind of just being with them, being present with them, embracing the moment. Like, little things that they do, I just sit and think like, wow, like my kids said a new word today. Like, I've never heard them say this word today, or they did a new gesture. I've never seen them do a gesture. And I'm home and I can be there and I can see these things and I can remember and embrace these moments that I will never have again. Another way I practice gratitude, like when I'm washing my dishes, I'm like, oh, thank God that I have dishes to wash, that I have. When I'm fixing my bed, I'm like, thank God that I have a bed to sleep on. The reason why I say it was the biggest thing for me, when you practice gratitude, you don't have time to think of all the things that you don't have. I'm not thinking about what I'm lacking or what I want more of. I'm more present in the moment. Practicing gratitude has been so helpful in my mental health. So yeah, those are the 4 things that I've done that has helped my day-to-day living. It's helped my stay-at-home life to be more, I just love it more. I mean, it's still tough. I still have hard days, but I'm better able to manage them. I'm more aware and sure of myself and what I need when I need it. When I start getting a little snappy with the kids, I know it's time for me to step back. I know it's time for me, like, girl, go take a walk. Or, you know, like, just knowing the signs, I am just able to better manage my day-to-day because I'm just more sure and aware. And that took a lot of time, but it also took a lot of intention. I had to really do a lot of reflection and understand what my triggers are. And all of that, doing all of this work, the inward work, is just ultimately allows me to show up better as a mom, as a wife, and for myself. That is what all this work is for. Showing up as my best self, to do the things that I want to do, to create the life that I want to ultimately have. I'm just so grateful for the growth that I've done in the last few years being a stay-at-home mom. So thank you guys so much for watching. My battery's dying and I will see you in my next video. Bye.